I drove away that night, thinking it was just another fun sleepover. But within hours, my daughter was stuck scrubbing while the others disappeared for ice cream. I remember her excited face as I dropped her off at her aunt's house. She believed she was entering a joyous, glitter-filled gathering, but nearly immediately she got handed a scrub brush and a sponge, left behind to wash every dish and polish every floor while the other kids ran off for treats. I didn't raise my voice. I waited. And 3 days later, everything shifted. My sister's picture-perfect life began to crack. If someone had told me on that Saturday morning that her dream night would end with her weeping on her pillow, I might have laughed a shaky laugh, the kind you force when you wish the world were still safe. But in the morning light, hope was real. Her hope, my own fragile hope, quietly, because admitting it out loud felt dangerous. She'd been talking about that sleepover for months, marking days on a paper calendar, plastering stars like a comet trail. Her Aunt Mara always throws these so-called sleepovers every year, but sleepover feels like an understatement. It's more like a mini gala, matching pajamas, themed snacks, crafts so elaborate they probably have their own instruction manuals. There are gift bags sprinkled with glitter and ribbons, like each child is being welcomed to an exclusive club. For years, my daughter Annie watched from the sidelines. She smiled, she nodded, but inside she burned with longing. God, she longed to belong. Then, out of the blue, Mara invited her. No big speech, no explanation, just a note. And suddenly, Annie believed she had won a ticket into the cool kids' universe. She planned what to wear, wrote tiny letters, and even used her savings to buy small presents for each of her cousins. I matched her too, hiding tears at the checkout because I was proud and terrified. When we pulled up at Mara's house, it looked straight out of a glossy magazine. Glitter arrows pointing to the door, pink balloons trembling in a warm breeze, laughter spilling out into the driveway. Annie stepped out of the car like she was walking into sunshine. She didn't hesitate, didn't look back. I watched her ascend the walkway, hopeful, awkward in her favorite purple dress, and wondered if I'd already misjudged everything. The very next morning, the house felt hollow. Voices were gone. The balloons sagged. I knocked, and the door creaked open slowly, like I'd walked into a crime scene. There she was, my little girl, pale, with dirt in her hair, her red eyes rimmed and her dress wrinkled, stained. There was a strange chemical scent, bleach maybe, in the air. She clutched her stuffed rabbit like it might vanish in her grip. "Ready to go?" I asked softly. She nodded, not with relief, but with stiffness, like she had learned not to take up room. My chest tightened. We didn't even make it to the end of the street before I whispered, "How was it?" But she stayed quiet, staring forward. Her lips trembled, and finally, a tiny sound escaped her. Barely a sob. A quiet collapse. Then she said it. "They told me I wasn't part of the group." She paused, voice fragile. "They said I had to earn it." "Earn what?" My heart pounded. She reached into her pocket with trembling fingers and pulled out a crumpled list in her aunt's handwriting, framed with doodled hearts. The listed chores were brutal. Scrub floors, wash dishes, clean sinks, vacuum, wipe baseboards. Hours of work for a little girl. This wasn't a regular sleepover chore chart. This was labor. She told me she had to finish it before she could join them. That was the condition. While she worked, they went out. Ice cream, a movie. The very outing she'd hoped for was theirs alone. My hand shook as I held that list, fear and rage swirling inside me. She turned inwards, curling around her rabbit, and I noticed her hands. Red, raw, peeling where skin had split. Something in me ignited. A fire I carried quietly all my life. "Did your aunt know?" I asked. She nodded. "She said cleaning would build character," she whispered. "Grandma and Grandpa agreed." Her small voice cracked my world. They all left, leaving her behind to scrub. My vision sharpened, memory crashing in. I remembered my own childhood. My sister, Mara, 3 years older, always ordering me around, telling me Mom said to clean this, clean that, and Mom, she never said anything. But when I asked why, Mara would yell, and Mom would arrive, already annoyed, already assuming I'd misbehave. "You clean it." She'd sigh, as commanding me as if I was training for obedience. I'd heard that 1,000 times. I buried it deep, like roots beneath the floorboards. I carried the weight of invisible labor, tidying up, picking up toys, scrubbing cosmic scuff marks, while she stood and disappointed. And when I left home, things seemed to change. Mara became nicer, or better at pretending. There were birthday texts, polite social media posts, generic sisterhood captions, but civil wasn't connection. Then adulthood hit with full force. Nursing school, marriage, custody, divorce, and raising Annie. My life settled into a rhythm. Work hours became predictable. Weekends were either endurance or relief. And slowly, I fell into the pattern, watching Mara's daughters, answering her calls, patching her cracks. She'd ask, could you take them for a few hours? I'd say yes, because that's what I did. Soon, this favor became a routine. Wednesday babysitting. I didn't ask if it felt fair. I just did it because my heart told me to. But a pattern emerged. Her daughters came when my child was away. Not always. Life isn't neat, but enough to feel deliberate, enough to sting. I wondered, why never when Annie was home? She adored her cousins, and I thought maybe they'd ask. But Mara never suggested it. The message was always clear. Annie waits. She's watching. Hoping, excluded. Control ran quiet but deep. Then came the medical emergency era. My phone turned into a siren for rashes, coughs, mysterious aches, emotional breakdowns. My dad once called because his ear felt weird, truly. And of course, Mara called again and again. Her daughters needed my time. Her husband needed me for silly injuries or last-minute favors. I became her unpaid clinic, her safety net. And they drained me financially too. My account was raided. $80 here, $150 there, $300 because her business needed just one more boost. The money vanished fast, like flies around trash. And I paid because I was trained to be that person. Then came divorce, parenting, working in healthcare. I held so many responsibilities. But when I saw her chore list in Annie's trembling hands, something snapped. That list wasn't written to help. It was written to control. It said, you are here to serve. You don't belong unless you earn your place. Your feelings don't matter. Your pain doesn't matter. Only their convenience does. That passed a line, and for once, I drew one. The morning after, I made a decision. I told Mara, no more babysitting. I froze the extra cards she borrowed, canceled recurring transfers. I messaged her plainly, I won't be your unpaid backup. Please find someone else. No wiggle room. Her reply, after 30 minutes, just a single letter. K, a shrug through the screen. I stared at that K and laughed. Weird, cold, jagged. It was childish, maybe petty, but I didn't care. Then messages flooded in. You always do Wednesdays, she wrote. We really need you. I didn't respond. Didn't even read them. They piled up like invitations to chaos. But for once, saying no felt peaceful. Then Wednesday came. Bright, normal-looking day, but heavy. I stayed home, ate leftover pasta, watched a baking show where someone cried over a collapsed sponge cake. Ridiculous, calming. At 3:10 p.m., my phone buzzed. Once, twice, 3 times. I ignored it. I knew who it was. Across town, 2 young girls were waiting outside their school, backpacks on their backs, scanning for a ride that never came. And Mara didn't show. Not a text, not a call. In that moment, I saw how much she leaned on me. Not with love, but with entitlement. My phone rang. Mara, then my mom, then Mara again. I let it go to voicemail. Later, I listened to the messages. Exactly what I expected. Where are you? The school called me. I'm stuck in traffic. Part of me felt guilty. What if the girls were upset? But another part knew this wasn't about them. This was about accountability. She relied on me, always had, but she'd never planned. So I answered, calm but fierce. I told you I wouldn't be there. Her voice cracked. She yelled. My parents' voices echoed behind her. She put me on speaker. You endangered them, she screamed. You knew I needed you. I exhaled slowly. I said, that is not an excuse. I informed you. It's not my burden to carry. The silence was heavy, thick. Then my mother intervened. Karina, enough. This is not who you are. I paused. Is not who I am? I said, voice steady. Then they attacked my reaction. The sleepover was just a lesson, they said. Kids need responsibility. Their version of responsibility? Letting her scrub until her hands bled. That was their lesson. I didn't soften. My jaw